Welcome back to iRacing Basic Training. In this chapter, we're going to talk about wreck avoidance. When competing in the iRacing service, you'll quickly notice that being a defensive driver can really benefit you in a number of ways. Racing the virtual cars on iRacing via the internet goes smoothly, all things considered, but eventually, the harsh reality is you're going to end up crashing. It's easy to be the first one to point out what someone else did wrong, but ultimately, it's up to you to make the most out of each race you enter. While you could attribute this to pure luck, I prefer to say luck doesn't exist. If you look closely at this replay, you will notice that the driver had a lot of choices to make in a very short amount of time. With very few exceptions, you'll want to slow down for every wreck in front of you. This will buy you more time to make decisions. And even if you hit a car and get caught up in the accident, the damage you will sustain won't be nearly as bad. The next thing you start doing is predicting. Where are the other cars spinning headed? Where will they be when you reach them? These are all questions that you will answer without even thinking once you have some experience. The best way to get experience missing trouble is to join an open practice with a lot of cars registered. If nothing else, you'll get comfortable racing around other cars. More often than not, you'll have a few drivers still learning the track and making mistakes. If you see smoke, practice getting on the brake quickly. Although just because you slow down quickly and you're going to miss the cars in front of you, that doesn't mean you can't get hit from behind. Keep an eye out for drivers who aren't as cautious. Another thing to consider is the banking of the track. Cars will slide down from the top of the track and down the banking. Your best bet is to take the outside after cars have lost their momentum. Another topic we need to touch on is racecraft. Racecraft is simply your ability to race around other cars. Eventually, you'll be put in some really tight situations that can either lead to a well-executed pass or possibly a crash. Leading up to a pass, I always try to study a driver's line. It might help me determine where the best place to pass this driver is. It also gives me a better idea of what to expect when I get side by side with this driver. The best drivers on the iRacing service know how important racecraft and wreck avoidance can be. If you're involved in a wreck, keep calm. Throwing your arms up in defeat after crashing will only make the damage worse. Try to stay out of the racing groove and avoid getting more cars involved. Once you regain control, time is valuable. The quicker you can get back to the pits, the less time and positions you will lose. When you stop in your pit stall, you will see two different types of repairs: optional repairs and required repairs. Required repairs must be completed before going out on track. Once required repairs are completed, you might want to try going around a lap and see if you can drive it. If it drives okay, you might want to continue the race. If you're in a race with full course cautions, you need to wait until the last possible moment to leave your pit stall, which is when you see the pace car a few seconds behind on your F3 or relative information box. If you're a lap down with damage, pit the first time by with the lead lap cars and continue to fix your damage. Even though it says the pits are closed, the penalty is starting at the end of the field, which is where you will be regardless. At big tracks, you can get a lot of damage fixed under cautions because pace laps can be over 2 minutes long. For races without yellows, look at F2 in the standings information box. It's then up to you to determine when your crew has done enough repairing. Note that until your crew finishes all the repairs, the car won't drive nearly as good. If you have time to fix it all, do it. Subsequent cautions can be used to your advantage. As long as you're still running, you normally have the opportunity to pick up several positions before the end of the race. This can be the difference between winning a division championship and falling short a few points.